Welcome to the new features training for Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013 for General Ledger. My name is Cheryl Waswick and I'm a Senior Technical Support Engineer on the Microsoft Dynamics GP Application Support Team. The agenda for General Ledger includes the following new features. First are changes to the GL year-end close process. Second is how to view historical journal entries and inquiry. Third are changes to the Reconcile to General Ledger utility. And last are new calculation methods added to the average exchange rate currency translation. Lesson 1 for General Ledger. The year-end close process options that were added include three main features. The first is a checkbox to maintain inactive GL accounts during the GL year-end close process. Currently, all inactive accounts without a balance are automatically removed, and you now have options to retain those inactive accounts. Second is a progress bar was added to the GL year-end close process so you know when it's been completed. And last, options to clear unit account balances during the year-end close process were also added. So let's take a look at the new features for the year-end close process for General Ledger. The first two new features for the year-end close options can be seen in the year-end closing window. To navigate to this window, click on Financial in the left navigation pane, and under Routines Financial, click on Year-end Closing. In the year-end closing window, notice the first new feature is a checkbox in the lower left corner to maintain inactive accounts. With the checkbox unmarked, you will receive the functionality that you're used to in prior versions of Microsoft Dynamics GP, where inactive GL accounts without a balance, whether or not they have a budget amount tied to them, will be automatically removed by the GL year-end close process. However, now you have an option to maintain your inactive accounts. Simply mark the checkbox to enable the two options below it. The first option will allow you to maintain your inactive accounts that have budget amounts tied to them, and all other inactive GL accounts will still be deleted. The second option is just to maintain all of your inactive accounts no matter what. The second new feature in the year-end closing window is a progress bar. Before closing any year, make sure that you have a current restorable backup that you can use in case there are any errors. So I'm going to go ahead and click Close Year for the 2017 year. And notice the progress bar on the left and the right shows the steps that have been completed. When the process has completed, the right side of the window will show you Process Complete. If you receive any errors during your GL year-end close process, make sure to restore to your backup that you made immediately. To open the Unit Account Maintenance window, click under Cards Financial Unit Account. In the Unit Account Maintenance window, select the unit account that you wish to have the balance brought forward for during the GL year-end close. In the Unit Account Maintenance window, you'll see a new checkbox called Clear Balance during year-end close. Simply mark the checkbox to have the balance on this unit account cleared during the year-end close, or leave the checkbox unmarked if you wish to have the balance on that unit account brought forward. Another change in the window is the display down below. Notice a column for the net change and the period balance. In prior versions, you were able to select which view you wanted and toggle between the views, and now you're able to see both views at the same time. Lesson 2 for General Ledger. In this lesson, we'll look at the changes to the Journal Entry Historical Inquiry. Currently, in the Journal Entry Inquiry window, you are only able to view journal entries for the current open years. Now you'll have options in the same window to view journal entries for historical years. Let's go ahead and take a look at this new feature in Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013. To open the Journal Entry Inquiry window, click on Inquiry, Financial, Journal Entry Inquiry. In the Journal Entry Inquiry window, if you know the journal entry number that you wish to view, whether it's from an open year or a historical year, simply key that number into the journal entry field. There's also a new field called Fiscal Year on this window that will show the most recent year that it found the journal entry number that you keyed in. You can also use the lookup button to find a journal entry. Click on the lookup button to open the journal entries window. In this window, notice the default view is for all open year journal entries. You can scroll through the list of your open year journal entries to select one to view. Or you can click on the view options in the left margin to change the display in this window to show all historical year journal entries. Here you can scroll through all the journal entries from your historical years, I'm going to go ahead and select one, journal entry number 10, and the window will populate with the data for the one that I selected, showing the fiscal year for this journal entry in 2014. If you key in a journal entry number, I'll key in 3556, it found this one most recently in fiscal year 2017, and notice the source document is a balance brought forward. GL does allow you to post one historical year back, so I'm going to go ahead and change the fiscal year to 2016, and it shows me the original journal entry for that balance brought forward entry in 2016. You can use the drop-down list for the fiscal year to go back through your previous years to look for duplicate journal entries. When I select 2015, I get a message that says the journal entry has not been posted in the selected fiscal year. Select another year or journal entry number. I hope that the additional functionality in this window to view historical journal entries will be of great value to you. Lesson 3 for General Ledger. In this lesson, we'll take a look at the new features for the Reconcile to GL utility. The first new feature is how to track your reconciliation history, so you can see what modules you reconciled, when you last reconciled them, and the detail behind that reconciliation. Secondly, new modules have been added, including inventory and bank reconciliation. Third, the Reconcile to GL window will now show you your subledger balances. And the last new feature is that drill back capability has been added to the Microsoft Dynamics GP window from the reconciliation spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new features for the Reconcile to GL utility. To open the Reconcile to GL spreadsheet, click on Microsoft Dynamics GP, Tools, Routines, Financial, Reconcile to GL. In the Reconcile to GL window, the first new feature is the reconciliation number. This is to help track the reconciliation history. Note that the next reconciliation number is stored in the General Ledger Setup window and is a new field to that window. The reconciliation date will default in the system date, but you can override that as needed. This will help to store the date that you performed the reconciliation. In the list of available modules to reconcile, Payables Management and Receivables Management were already available. In Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013, Inventory and Bank Reconciliation are now added to the list. Note that inventory may only be listed if the Historical Inventory Trial Balance Report, or HITB report, has been activated. This will help to balance the HITB report to the GL inventory account. Bank reconciliation will help you to reconcile the cash account on your checkbook to the checkbook balance. More information on the reconciliations for these two modules can be found under the Inventory and Bank Reconciliation module sections. Notice that the output file will be blank if there are no previously saved reconciliations for the module that you have selected. Simply navigate out to a new location that you wish to save the reconciliation to. If you select a module in which you have a previously saved reconciliation, the output path will default in to be the same as the path from the reconciliation with the highest reconciliation number. Also, the file name is a unique name. In the example above, the date range I've selected is March and the module is Payables, so my new unique file name will be PM to GL, followed by the reconciliation number 7, followed by the month and year from the date range that I'm reconciling above. The bottom part of the window shows the beginning and ending balances for the subledger or module that I'm reconciling, and also the general ledger along with the difference. Note that the beginning and ending balance for the subledger is just a simple addition and subtraction from the table that's being reconciled. Often it's a distribution table in payables and receivables, and the balances may not necessarily match the true balance that you see in the historical age trial balance report, as the balance on the historical age trial balance report is a much more complex calculation. To view your reconciliation history, simply click on the lookup button next to the reconciliation field. This will open the Reconciliations window where you can view your previously saved reconciliations. Having this history tracked will help you to see exactly which modules you've reconciled and which date range you've reconciled to. You can view your reconciliation history, or you can open one and continue to work on it. To change the sort in the window, simply click on the heading for that column. I can sort by module by clicking on the module heading, or back to reconciliation by clicking on reconciliation. Select the module that you wish to view and click the select button. I'll save the new sort that I made in the window. And the Reconcile the GL window will populate with the information from that reconciliation. If I had known it was reconciliation number 6, I could have just keyed in number 6 and tabbed off the field. Now I have options at the top to save this reconciliation, delete it, or cancel out of the window. I also have a new option to click the Excel button to open the Reconcile to GL spreadsheet. The subledger is shown on the left side of the spreadsheet and general ledger is shown on the right side. Focus on the unmatched sections and potentially matched sections to help find differences between the two sides. The matched sections are transactions that already match, followed by the ending balances for payables and receivables that may not necessarily match the historical age trial balance report. Notice also under customer number, there's a hyperlink where you can drill back to the customer maintenance window in Microsoft Dynamics GP to view that customer. You can also drill back to the document number, the journal entry number, or the account setup. This will help you to research further information by drilling back to windows in Microsoft Dynamics GP. Lesson 4 for General Ledger. This lesson outlines new functionality added to calculate an average exchange rate used for currency translation. Amounts will be converted from the functional values to a translation currency for financial reporting purposes in Management Reporter. Let's take a look at the new functionality in the multi-currency window. To navigate to the multi-currency setup window, click on Tools under Microsoft Dynamics GP, Setup, Financial, Multi-Currency. In the multi-currency setup window, the currency translation section in the middle was added in Service Pack 1 for Microsoft Dynamics GP 2010 for Management Reporter. This will help to calculate an average exchange rate for currency translation. In the drop-down list for the average calculation method, it defaults to Exchange Table, which is how the window worked before, so the window will use existing functionality. However, 2 new additional methods have been added, which were previously available in FRX, but now with Management Reporter, you're able to get the same functionality by using this new field. The rate average will be the sum of the rates in the range divided by the number of rates in the date range. The rate days average will sum up the rates times the number of days that the rate was divided by the number of days in the month. For examples on how these 2 new calculation methods work, please refer to the documentation provided for Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013. Let's review the new features for General Ledger. The year-end close options include a checkbox in the year-end closing window to maintain inactive GL accounts. Also, a progress bar was added to know when the GL year-end close process has completed. And also, a checkbox was added on the unit accounts to be able to clear the unit account balance along with the GL year-end close. The next new feature is in the Journal Entry Inquiry window. Currently, you can view open year journal entries, and now you are also able to view historical year journal entries. Third, the Reconcile to GL routine allows you to track your reconciliation history, and now you are also able to reconcile the inventory and bank reconciliation modules. And last, the average exchange rate currency translation section in the multi-currency setup window has new calculation methods that are to be used with Management Reporter. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the new features for General Ledger today.